Peace to the gods and the goddesses of the nation and of the land and of all creation. Hope everybody doing well. Hope everybody blessed, man. Having a good time with your family. Enjoying the weather if you in a hot climate. Getting away from the weather if you in a cold climate. You know how we is up here in New York State, man. It's cold up here. We got snow everywhere. But that's not what I'm coming to you guys today about. Now, I was going to come to you guys about this Trump impeachment, but that's for another video. I don't even want to talk about that right now. What I want to talk about is this Nick Cannon and Eminem beef. The song that that Nick Cannon came out with called The Invitation really sheds some light on the mind of Eminem, even though I felt like I already kind of knew the mind of Eminem because he was an artist that I listened to, you know, growing up. I'm 33 years old, so he was an artist that I listened to growing up when I was in my teens. But it was certain things about him that I didn't know. Say more or less about him making that song that's referenced in The Invitation about black girls are bitches, black girls are dumb. I never knew Eminem made that shit. And if I ever heard that shit when I was a kid, I would have been trying to make some type of way to get up to Eminem to shoot that nigga in his face. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm totally against racist people. I mean, you have your right to believe whatever you want, but I don't feel like you have that right to display it to the world. And by Eminem saying the shit that he said in that song, it was displaying it to the world. And here's my problem with the situation, and this is where I got to get down to the nitty gritty about this shit and talk to y'all black people. I looked at the video, right? And just like any other human being, I had to scroll down and I looked at the comments. I wanted to see what the people were saying about this. And you know, out of 5,000 fucking comments, 2,500 of them African Americans. Not one of you motherfuckers talk about this motherfucker talking about black people. Y'all steady so fucking worried about Nick Cannon and the way his bars sound and whether or not you like the song, but you forget the message of what he's talking about. This is the reason why black people are in the society that we in today, where we are at the low of the food chain when it comes to human being. While every race is put up on top of us and we are stuck in the fucking mud. Why? Because we think muddy things. Our minds are clouded. Black people got a problem with only going with shit if it's popular at the fucking time, but not going with something if it's right. It has to be a movement in order for a black person to start doing some shit. We seen it with the civil rights when they needed a motherfucker to go up and like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all of them people, they needed a leader, the motherfucker say the words that they didn't have the heart to say. Black people, get your fucking heart up. The nigga said some racist shit, so you had to address it. Nick addressed it. And I don't even agree with Nick Cannon beliefs as far as with the Mormons. That shit is buku crap to me. The Mormons, the Moors, whatever. I don't care nothing about them boys. He took his turban off and I was happy because I don't like Moors. I feel like they are the epitome of black stupidness, of stupidity in the black community. That's what I believe the Moors are. But that's neither here nor there. What this man did into that video was address a situation that happened. And people were like, oh, he apologized for it. He apologized for it because it was fucking up his money. You got to think about the main consumer. The main consumer that was listening to Eminem, even though people may think it was just white people, black people was listening to him. I bought Eminem album when I was a kid. So you can't tell me that black people wasn't listening. I know black people who can fucking go verbatim on everything that man said, can quote it straight word for word. Because Eminem is nice. Hands down one of the best rappers to ever enter the game. But that doesn't change the fact about his views. I will never listen to another Eminem song after I've heard what he said on that track. Never. Never again will I ever. I don't give a fuck if you apologize for it. Because the only reason why you apologize for it, because you got caught for it. Because if you really wanted to apologize for it, you would have brought it to the forefront so we didn't have to find out about it ourselves. If I feel bad about something and it's eating me up inside and I want to apologize to a certain people, I'm not going to wait for somebody to call me out years, 10 to 15 years later on the shit that I did. And then I'll be like, oh, I apologize and go do a song and apologize. Fuck that, boy. First of all, you should have never created the song if that's not how you felt in the first place. I don't give a fuck about you being young. The same mind that I had that I was young may have matured now, but I still hold the same values. I wasn't young talking about I hate all white people and grow up and be like I love all white people. No, I didn't do that. If I hated you then, I hated you now. If I loved you then, I loved you now. There's no in between. There's no mixing shit up. Because if you gotta mix some shit up from when you have to apologize for some shit that you did when you was young, when it comes to the subject of race and black women, motherfucker, you felt that way from the jump. And I'd be surprised if you feel any fucking different now. He will not be played in my house. Everything that's against him will be played in my house. Why? Because I know how you feel now. I know the true you. And it's a shame that the African Americans that's inside of this country will sit up here and let the shit go noticed but unnoticed. You willing to acknowledge the fact that he did it, but you making excuses for this man. That shows you how weak black people can be. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. You can never buy my respect. You can never buy my heart and my freedom and my mind. You can never close me into a box that's going to keep me silent. I am loud. And there is nothing in this world that's going to bring me from the fact to believe that Eminem, Marshall Mathers, doesn't feel the same way that he felt when he was 16 or whenever the fuck he made that track. Black girls is bitches. Black girls are dumb. You went out of your way to exploit black women throughout your entire career. Even though you exploited white people too, but it doesn't matter. And these are your views? The person who put you on and made you who you is today is a black man? When you stopped popping and you wanted to get somebody that's going to pop just like how you popped when you first came out and set the bar for all the rap society, who did you choose? You didn't go choose fucking Kid Rock or G-Eazy or any other white rapper. Who did you choose? You chose 50 Cent, a black man who should have beat the shit out you after he found out that you said that shit. It's time to wake up, black people. Certain shit just not acceptable when they got to deal with you. Just because you like a person and respect a person and you love a person, that does not make them holier than thou. You have to start checking motherfuckers on the shit that they do, and all that apology shit ain't gonna cut it. You can't just say shit and then come back and apologize for the shit and then everybody's supposed to feel okay. Shit don't work like that. Instead of y'all sitting up here bashing this nigga Nick Cannon for even stepping up, because and the thing about it is everybody like, oh, he keep rapping and Eminem been talking about this man for about fucking 10 years now, and Nick Cannon hasn't said anything to this dude. Nick Cannon has ignored him every chance that he got. Mariah Carey ignored that dude every chance that they got. Everybody ignored Eminem. P. Diddy ignored him. Even fucking NSYNC, Britney Spears, everybody ignored Eminem because they knew that the shit that he said was mainly to get people talking. But that doesn't change the fact of the shit that you say. What you say still matters. And what you said was some racist, redneck, crack-ass cracker shit. And you need to be checked about it. You couldn't have, they couldn't have paid me to be Dr. Dre and thought that shit out. They couldn't have paid me to be 50 Cent and been up. I would have beat the shit out of Eminem. I would have beat him down. I would have called him to the studio and beat the shit out of him. And told him, go sit down. Go sit down and think about what the fuck you did. I would have beat the shit out of Eminem. But it's neither here or there, because no matter what I say, black people still gonna be stupid. It's like beating a dead horse. It's like you keep running yourself into a fucking brick wall. Black people don't listen to shit. They don't give a fuck about that shit because they only end with what is the now. And that's the problem that black people gonna face until we mature up and realize that you can't let niggas step all over you and think it's alright. It's time for you to fucking fight back. Whether it's with words, with your fists, or with whatever. Stop letting niggas run all over you. Stop being suckers. You're not gonna come up in my motherfucking face and disrespect me. You're not gonna say nothing about black women and then be up in my face, he, ha, ha, and I don't punch you in your shit. You're not gonna do that to me. Instead of focusing on what the fuck Nick Cannon saying, as far as, oh, do he got bars? Focus on what Nick Cannon saying in the message about what the fuck this man said. And what Nick Cannon said, he said, I'm doing this for mothers, daughters, sisters, aunties of black women who you disrespected, you dumb motherfucker. Until then, man, peace and blessings to the gods and the goddesses. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification button, and get with your boy. More powerful information, more powerful news, and more powerful commentary. Until then, stay blessed and peace to the nation.